Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being such a patient audience. I know it is the second day and the second half. We are moving towards the closing, but thank you so much for being here. Before we get started, just a quick show of hands of people among us who are in retail lending, be in business, product, or IT. Great, thank you. In the last 2 days, we have had discussions on the evolution of lending, the way the tech systems are evolving, what role AI is playing. There have been quite a number of sessions, and I'm sure you have had one-on-one discussions based around the role of agentic AI specifically. Well, on similar lines, I, Vishal, and my colleagues Karshit and Aditya would like to present to you a platform called FinBox Journey Studio that will transform the way we take lending products to market. If there is one thing that we have learned from our customers in our history of working with them over the past 7 to 8 years, one thing which has stood out is that speed is very, very crucial. Be it the speed of launching new products, onboarding new partners, or the speed of change management, all of these areas are today, sort of getting stuck because the systems today in place are not able to implement the business changes faster, or the approach that we take towards launching new journeys or onboarding new partners is based on, the bedrock which is built maybe 30, 40, or 50 years in the past. Now, while the sourcing has evolved, today lenders source not just from branches, but also from different kinds of LSP partnerships, native DIY channels such as mobile apps, websites. But the way the tech stack should have evolved, we have really not reached there yet. So what lenders typically want is faster product launches. They want to test out new customer segments really quickly and optimize for them. They want to scale across all of the channels that they tap into. But the reality is slightly different. While the lenders or the business teams start to do this, they typically face very long development cycles, be it from the in-house development team or from external vendors. At the same time, there is a fear of systems breaking down on production, causing not so good user experience for the end customers. And the repeatability of the systems and the processes today is also fairly low. So if you have already built a customer onboarding journey, which is launched on your mobile app, we should really be able to use the same journey or the components of this journey and roll it out for assisted channels and for similar other partners. Now, while speed is crucial, but still there is something which is preventing us from doing that. Well, most of it is because of the approach that is in the traditional LOS systems. So when we look at traditional LOS systems and the way the LOS systems have come into the picture, into the lending industry, so it started from a model where the point of interaction between the lenders and the customers was the branches or the brick and mortar model. So there a customer used to walk in, there was a representative who would interact with the customer, take in the application, and then fill in all the details in their system. Now, this still happens maybe in tier 3, tier 4, and further areas. But if you compare this with a customer in a tier 1 city who himself works on different components of tech or AI in his workplace, the kind of interaction that a lender needs to have with a customer walking into a branch versus a customer coming to a lender's website should be very different. And the type of systems that we need to design for both of these customers should in principle be based on what we already know about the customer and what the customer exactly needs, so that we can reduce the touch points with the customer and give a very smooth onboarding experience. But again, our systems are very rigid. They are built in code, and the configurability of these systems is today very low. And further, the dependencies on internal IT teams or external vendors makes it even more challenging for the business teams to tap into those customer segments, and this ultimately leads to loss of business opportunity. I'm sure all of you would have faced such scenarios. Even in our conversations with most of our customers, when we walk them through all the capabilities of the products and we help them understand what the product can do for them, the question that they ask is, how soon can we launch? And most of the times when we try to understand their expectations, their answer is that this should have been launched yesterday. If that is the reality, then I think we need to relook at the way we roll out credit products to customers across different channels. So this brings us to the real question. What if business users could build and launch lending journeys by themselves? In order to achieve this, we have introduced FinBox Journey Studio. Now, what exactly is FinBox Journey Studio? FinBox Journey Studio is a no-code platform which is in the hands of the business users or the product users. It firstly gives you speed that you need today in order to tap into all the channels, into the right set of customers with the right points of interactions. And it also gives you different pre-built configurations, the best templates of different kinds of retail credit product journeys, be it personal loans, business loans, two-wheelers, loan against property, home loans. We'll go into more details of this, but this is a platform which really brings the control to business users or the product users or non-tech users. It eliminates the dependency of long development cycles, and it also allows you to iterate faster and respond to market changes faster with faster change management. Now, how does this work? We broadly look at the process in 4 different steps. You build a journey, you optimize it, you launch it on your required channels, and then you analyze it to increase your conversions and meet your metrics. Now, my colleague Karshit will help you understand this better by going through a demo of the product. We'll talk about how the product is structured, what are the different components in terms of third-party integrations, pre-built templates, different connectors for different data sources, and how all of this comes together and creates a customer onboarding experience that is really seamless and helps you get all of those customers ahead of your competition. Over to you, Karshit.
Thank you, Vishal, for setting it up. I think now that you know what Journey Studio is, we can get into the demo part of it, which shows you how it actually works. I'll quickly set up a scenario wherein you are a lending organization, like let's say a bank or an NBFC, who wants to create a personal loan journey and make it live with a particular sourcing partner. All right, so this is the landing page for a first-time user. It tells you certain steps which you have to follow to create the lending, a lending journey. It says you create a lender in the studio. Second step would be to create a sourcing partner in the studio. And also we have these predefined templates, which are like optimized templates, which we have built over time based on our building lending journey experience. It basically covers different lending journeys of different use cases and certain modules. These templates can be copy-pasted directly into your journey, and then you can make certain configurations on the top of it, depending upon your requirement. Followed by this, we have some product documentation and certain FAQs about the platform. Okay, let's get started. This is the control plane wherein we set up a lender persona. We put in the lender details, which are the name and the logo, and the lender gets created. Next step is to create a sourcing partner, wherein you put in the sourcing partner details. And sourcing partner, giving you a quick context on sourcing partner, it can be a DSA, it can be an LSP, it can be an aggregator, it can be anything. It can be your own channel as well. So you end up creating it. There are also certain optional configurations such as web configuration. You can set up a custom theme depending upon the partner, because based on our experience, we have observed that typically these partners look for a co-branding experience wherein they like to put forward their own theme, their own logos, and things like that. So yeah, there you go. Your sourcing partner is created, and so is the lender. Now, next step is to create a loan journey. So as I also mentioned before, there are 3 ways of creating the journey, which is, one is you can create it from scratch. One is wherein you can make use of these predefined templates, which we already have. And third is make use of the AI, which we call it as Studio AI. So for the sake of the demo, I will go ahead with the Studio AI example, wherein I put a prompt about the kind of journey I want, which says create a personal loan journey that includes professional and personal info details. It has bureau and banking based offer and other steps like KYC, penny drop, mandate, e-signing, and an automated dispersal. And we have to do all this while creating a seamless user experience. Yes, we hit generate, and there where AI does it work. Yeah, there you go. So the journey is created. We'll quickly sneak into how is this journey created. So based on the prompt, the journey is categorized or broken down into different modules, wherein every step mentioned in the prompt is a module. And also there is a journey workflow, which is a sequential progression of how these modules are driven in that workflow. So taking in this example, these are the modules. It's a sequential module with a quick data condition around banking, which it's an optional banking depending upon the output from the bureau module. Next is we look into how a module is defined, wherein we look into the personal info module. This is the personal info module. Personal info module comprises of various nodes. It can be certain screens which are attached to the module. It can be data conditions, and it can be some predefined functions. Talking about predefined functions, in this use case, we have built this journey using a PIN code verification function, which essentially takes input PIN code as an input and does a PIN code verification in the backend and gives out the output. Similar to this, we have more than 100 plus pre-integrated integrations for every use case. You name it, we have it. So there is Experian, there is Sibyl, there's DigiLocker, there are Hyperword, several integrations for all the external vendors. Along with that, we also have we have these predefined integrations for some internal operations as well. Let's say you want to send an SMS, you want to verify an OTP, you want to generate a PDF, or you want to mark the user as disqualified. We have these pre-integrations for all of them. Looking into how the UI screens are designed, as I mentioned, there were UI screen attached inside the workflow. There's a configuration inside it as well, which is this playground allows you to design your own screen, your own fields. You can set up your own validations. You can link certain masters to it, define some enums and things like that, and create the entire look and feel around inside this playground. And these screens further get linked inside the module workflow. Yeah, and so now when you have the journey created, you have done your own configuration, you can test the journey within the platform itself using this test option right here. When I click on it, it generates a URL which essentially initiates the journey, and you can test out the entire journey on the platform itself. All right. Next step is, once your journey is configured, UI, modules, workflows, and tested out, the next step is to roll it out, basically launch it against your sourcing partner. So in this scenario, the sourcing partner which we created back then, we are launching this journey at 100% rollout. Yes, and the journey is live. Now, the journey is live against this particular sourcing partner. Now, it can be given out to the sourcing partner in form of a redirection credit link, in form of an APIs, or whatever. And yeah, and there you go. And once you have your journey live, you have decent data coming in, you have been live for some time now. That's when you can make use of the analytics module, which gives you a sneak peek into how the journey is performed. This is just a basic overview which includes certain basic metrics, the journey funnel, and some trends. But you can make use of the other elements as well, the funnel, the trend, and you can also create your own custom dashboards, all no code. All right. So we have covered the first part of it, which essentially included creating a journey from scratch, launching it against a partner. And the next step, I would like to call upon Aditya, who would walk you through how the change management would work for an already live journey. Yeah, Aditya.
Thank you, Karshit, for your wonderful presentation. Let me just quickly do a recap of what we have done till now. So what we have done is we configured the organization, we configured the lender persona, the partner persona. We built a personal loan journey from using an AI prompt. We tested that journey and we finally rolled it out to production. Right? Now, as you know, the work doesn't stop when you release a journey. The work starts when you release a journey, and as we know, the only constant in software development is change, right? So there could be regulatory change, there could be addition of a new step in the journey. You could add fallback to an existing vendor. For example, you can, if the Sybil fails, you add Experian as a fallback source, right? So again, the changes could come from anywhere, right? Changes mandated by the RBI. So I would quickly run through how the change management experience looks like in Journey Studio. Right? So the first step is to take a fork of the existing journey, and what you get is a duplicate clone of the journey in draft status. That means you can, this journey is open to editing. Now you navigate to the module where you would like to make the changes. So this is the existing personal info module where you collected some basic information, collected PAN from the user, and did a basic PAN verification, right? And if the PAN verification was unsuccessful, you disqualified the user, right? So this is what is there. So we removed the, so what we are going to do is our, let's say, product analyst team, they have identified that there is a huge rejection at this step. And what they are recommending is you remove the disqualification from here and add a retry. You give the borrower an option to retry, right? So this is the change we are going to do. We removed the disqualification, and now there are two ways to go about the changes. First is you can use the drag and drop interface to make the changes yourself. You can drag the relevant nodes, write the relevance conditions, or you can leverage Studio AI for the change using a simple prompt. So we wrote a prompt and we let AI do its work. Now, as you can see, it has generated the change. The portion that is added by the AI, you can see it is highlighted in the green color. So what we did is we added a screen. Basically, we added a step where a user can retry with a different PAN. Okay. Now the next step is to obviously test it, and basically once testing is done and you are ready to deploy, there's a really cool feature. You can compare and review the changes which are going live. So we give you a side-by-side view of what the earlier workflow looked like and what the new workflow looks like. And when you hit spot differences, you can see the change which was done, right? A new node was added and the disqualification step was removed, right? And what exactly within that node was added, you can see in this view, right? Now once we are comfortable with the change, it's time to make this change live, right? So you go to our rollout phase, right? And then you can do a phased rollout as well, where you transfer a small percentage of the incoming traffic to your new journey and eventually increase the rollout. Or you can run your new journey in an A/B testing mode, where you have a 50-50 or 60-40 split between the existing journeys. So congratulations, your change is live now. I would ask Vishal to conclude.
This was the demo. I hope you found it insightful. And just to reiterate, on the primary learning that we had from our customers, which is the speed of launch and the speed of iterations, this is what we have delivered to our customers. We have significantly reduced the time it takes to take any credit product live, and we have done this across products, be it personal loans, business loans, education loans, and loan against property as well. And in doing that, the change management cost, which is typically incurred because of any sort of change that gets created as a request and goes out to the external vendor, since this tool gets into the hands of our customers and they drive all of the changes, customers have typically experienced up to 75% reduction in the implementation costs. And the analytics that we provide have also helped in optimizing the conversions. So I would like to leave you with a message that stop hard coding lending journeys and experience configurable lending journeys with FinBox Journey Studio. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, gentlemen. And this is what we call completely customizable platform, which is truly no code and driven by agentic AI. You should definitely get in touch with FinBox for Journey Studio to attain the speed you need. And with that, let's give them a huge round of applause, please. I would now like to request Mr. Srikanth to kindly present them a token of appreciation. Karshit Takhtani, Product Lead at FinBox. Karshit Takhtani. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Product Lead at FinBox, along with Aditya Srivastav, Engineering Lead at FinBox. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Vishal Khajuria, Product Sales Specialist at FinBox. Let's give him also a huge round of applause. Gentlemen, please come ahead for a group picture.